You remember everything. You remember the watery taste of your first nutrient paste. You remember the exact shade of blue in your mother's eyes. She held you close so many years ago. Every word you have ever heard is filed away. Every face is an entry in a perfect, endless library. Your mind is a flawless archive. This makes you a target. Here, in the neon haze of Port Corvus, it is a curse. The air is thick with ozone and fried circuits. The noise is a constant, grinding assault. You hear 10,000 conversations at once. You remember the life story of the merchant yelling about his prices. You met him 7 years ago on a different world. He has a new scar above his left eye. You keep your head down. You wrap a gray scarf around the lower half of your face. Your cloak is worn and unremarkable, just another soul adrift in the galactic currents. But you are not like them. You are the one who remembers the truth. The Dominion ensures there are very few like you left. Their business is forgetting. Your business is survival. You feel the shift in the crowd's rhythm. It is a subtle thing, a new tension in the air, a pattern you recognize. You see a man in a dark gray uniform. He tries to look casual, leaning against a support beam. His eyes scan the faces passing by. You saw that same uniform on a different man. He was dragging a historian from her home. That was on Kepler 9. You remember the historian's screams. You remember the smell of her books burning. Another gray uniform appears across the plaza. He is communicating with the first man. A slight hand gesture. A closed fist over the heart. It is a signal you logged 3 years ago. It means the target is sighted. It means they have found you. Panic is a luxury you cannot afford. Panic gets you caught. You change your direction without thinking. You move toward the service alleys, the places where the port's filth is flushed away. The walls are slick with grime. The air grows heavier. You hear the heavy thud of magnetic boots behind you. They are closing in faster than you expected. They are not trying to be subtle anymore. The hunt is on. You dive into a darkened passage. It is a narrow gap between 2 humming substations. The sound of their boots grows louder. They know you are close. You press yourself against the cold metal wall. You hold your breath, a useless gesture. Your heart hammers against your ribs. A sound they cannot hear, but you can feel. Each beat is a lifetime. A voice whispers in your mind. It is not a sound. It is a thought that is not your own. It feels like cold water and static. It finds you, the mind that holds the pieces. You spin around, your hand reaching for a weapon you do not have. There is nothing there but shadows. The passage is a dead end. You are trapped. The footsteps stop at the entrance of the alley. They have you cornered. The voice comes again, closer this time. It feels like it is right beside you. They are not the only hunters here. From the deepest shadow, a shape begins to form. It is not solid. It is like smoke given a vague, humanoid outline. It shimmers with a faint, sickly light. It is tall and thin. Its limbs are long and disjointed. It looks broken. A ghost made of television snow and sorrow. It reaches out a hand that is not quite there. Its touch is ice against your skin. The memories it shows you are not yours. You see cities of light and crystal. You see beings of pure energy singing to the stars. You see a civilization so advanced it treated star science like child's play. Then you see fire. You see an armada of gray ships. The Dominion sigil burns on their hulls. You see them deploying a weapon. It is not a bomb that destroys buildings. It is a wave of shimmering energy. It washes over the crystal cities. It passes through the star-born beings. And when it is gone, there is only silence. The beings are still there. But their light is gone. Their minds are empty. They took our soul. They stole our history. They left us as echoes. The being, the echo, flickers before you. It is weak. It is fading. The Dominion erases history. They silence those who know. But you remember? A fragment of our truth lodged in your perfect mind. That is why they hunt you. That is why I found you. The Dominion soldiers step into the alley. Their helmeted heads turn, scanning the darkness. Their rifles are raised. They are methodical. They are killers. They will not have you. The echo whispers in your head. The ghostly figure flows around you. It becomes a shield of shimmering static. A Dominion soldier raises his rifle. He fires a bolt of red plasma. The bolt hits the echo's form and dissolves. It vanishes with a faint hiss. The soldier stares in disbelief. That momentary confusion is your only chance. You run. You push past the stunned soldiers. You burst back out into the crowded concourse. Alarms begin to blare across the entire port. Red lights flash. The civilians scream and scatter. This is no longer a covert operation. The Dominion is done being quiet. You hear their ships roaring in the sky above. The sky begins to burn. Plasma cannons score black lines across the city's towers. Explosions rock the foundations of the spaceport. The Dominion does not care about witnesses. They only care about capturing you. The echo is a silent guide in your head. It nudges you left, then right. It leads you through maintenance corridors you never knew existed. There is a ship, a smuggler. He owes you a debt. The memory surfaces instantly. Kyle, a rough human with a quick temper and a faster ship. You helped him escape a bounty hunter crew 5 years ago. You gave him a precise route through an asteroid field, a route you memorized from a discarded navigational chart. He swore he owed you one. It is time to collect. You find him in Docking Bay 94. His ship is called the Stray Comet. It is a mess. It is a patchwork of mismatched hull plates and jury-rigged conduits. It looks less like a starship and more like a junk pile. Kael is yelling at a refueling droid. He is a bull of a man with a thick beard. Kael, you say. He turns, his face a mask of annoyance that melts into shock. You. What in the blazes are you doing here? This whole station is coming down. I need a ride, you say simply. A ride? A ride? He gestures wildly at the chaos outside. The Dominion just declared war on this entire rock. I'm not going anywhere near them. You look him in the eye. 5 years ago, the Kessel Run. A bounty hunter named Grok. You were cornered with a hold full of illegal spice. You had a failing power converter. Unit 704. I told you to divert power from the aft shields. I gave you the exact coordinates to escape. Kyle's face goes pale. He stares at you. No one should remember those details. The debt is called, you say. Now he grumbles. He curses your name and the name of his mother. But he opens the boarding ramp. Get in. And if that ghost thing is with you, tell it not to drip on my upholstery. You climb aboard the Stray Comet. The echo shimmers into existence beside the co-pilot's chair. The interior of the ship is no better than the exterior. Wires hang from the ceiling. The air smells of ozone and old synthale. You strap yourself into a crash couch. Kale slams his fists on the console. All right, you bucket of bolts. Let's show these gray-suited thugs what real flying looks like. The ship lurches as the engines roar to life. It rattles and shakes as Kale pulls it from its docking clamps. The view screen shows 3 Dominion fighters screaming toward you. They open fire. Green energy bolts stitch across your shields. The ship groans in protest. Shields at 80%, Kyle yells. Why did I ever meet you? He pushes the ship into a hard dive. He flies directly into the port's superstructure. You weave between massive cargo cranes and communication towers. It is a desperate, insane maneuver. The Dominion fighters are forced to follow in single file. Kyle is a better pilot than you remember. He is afraid, the Echo whispers. Fear sharpens him. A fighter gets too close. Kyle slams on the retro thrusters. The Dominion ship overshoots you. Kyle fires a single shot from his forward cannons. It strikes the fighter's engine. The ship cartwheels into a crane. The explosion is silent in the vacuum. But you feel the shockwave. 1 down, Kyle growls. 2 to go. And a very angry destroyer blocking our exit. He points to the main view screen. A massive Imperial warship hangs in orbit. Its weapon ports are glowing. It is preparing to fire. It could vaporize your tiny ship without a second thought. There is no way to outrun it. There is no way to fight it. We are not going to make it, Kale says. His voice is flat. Defeated. You close your eyes. You search your perfect memory. You search for anything. A forgotten battle tactic. A hidden weakness in Dominion ship design. You find something. A text you once scanned. A forbidden history of the first expansion wars. It mentioned a flaw in older destroyer models. Their main cannons have a slow recharge cycle, you say. 17 seconds. If you can bait them into firing, we have a window. Kaio looks at you. Then he grins. A wild, reckless grin. Bait a Star Destroyer? I'm starting to like you again. Hold on to something. He turns the stray comet directly at the warship. You fly straight into its teeth. The destroyer commander must think you are insane or suicidal. The massive cannons fire. A beam of pure energy, wide as a city block, slices through space. It misses you by meters. The heat washes over your shields. Kale pushes the throttle to its limit. The little ship screams as it accelerates. 17 seconds. The countdown begins in your head. 16, 15. You race past the destroyer's bridge. You can see the officers inside staring in shock. 10, 9. You are almost past its effective firing range. 5, 4. The ship shudders violently. Kale yells, "Jump drive engaged." Space outside the viewport twists. The stars stretch into long lines of light. Then everything snaps into the silent, peaceful black of hyperspace. You are safe. For now. You are a fugitive. You are traveling with a ghost and a half-crazed smuggler. Your journey has just begun. The silence in the cockpit is heavy. Keiko lets out a long, slow breath. He slumps back in his pilot's seat. "Never again," he mutters. "I am officially retiring from the rescuing memory people business." The Echo shimmers next to you. He is lying. He enjoyed that. You look out at the swirling vortex of hyperspace. You have escaped the fire. But you have jumped into an unknown darkness. The Dominion is not the only power in the galaxy. And their greatest weapon is not a ship or a cannon. It is the silence they leave behind. You are the only one who can break that silence. Your new ally, the Echo, begins to share more. It does not speak in words. It floods your mind with images and feelings. It shows you the truth of the Dominion's power. You see conquered worlds not just occupied, but rewritten. You see statues of heroes replaced. You see history books digitally altered in every library. The Dominion does not just win wars. They erase them from memory. They have a fleet of ships they call Quietus fleets. These ships do not carry weapons of destruction. They carry fields that target information. They can wipe a planet's entire digital record. They can project a low-level telepathic suggestion. It makes populations forget. It makes them compliant. Makes them believe the Dominion was always there. It is a galaxy built on a foundation of lies. And you are a living contradiction to their rule. My people were the first, the echo communicates. The feeling is one of ancient sorrow. We were a race of historians, of storytellers. We kept the true records of the galaxy. The Dominion could not allow that. They could not simply conquer us. They had to unmake us. The echo shows you what happened. The quietest field they used on the silenced was different. It was more powerful. It did not just make them forget. It severed their connection to their own collective consciousness. It shattered their shared soul into 1 billion pieces. The echo is one of those pieces, a ghost searching for its whole. How do you fight that? Kale asks. He has been listening to your side of the conversation. He looks shaken. How do you fight an enemy that can make you forget you were ever fighting? You do not have an answer. But you have a memory. It is from a long time ago. You were a child, exploring an old data archive. You found a corrupted text. It was a fragment of a star chart. The Dominion had tried to erase it, but the corruption had saved a piece. Your mind absorbed it automatically. It was a map to a place that no longer officially existed. I know a place, you say, a path that the Dominion has forgotten. You close your eyes and call up the memory. You describe the star patterns, the nebula clouds, the gravitational anomalies. You trace the route with your finger on the holographic star map. Kale watches, his skepticism battling with a newfound respect. He inputs the coordinates. The map shimmers. It shows a route through uncharted, dangerous territory. The Serpent Nebula, a place where ships are known to disappear. That's a suicide run, Kyle says flatly. The nebula is filled with gravitic shears and stellar storms that can tear a ship apart. It is the only way, the echo insists. It is a path they will not expect. It leads to our homeworld. It leads to the echo of ages. The echo of ages, you ask. The name resonates with a strange familiarity. The echo floods your mind with another vision. You see a colossal device. It is not made of metal. It appears to be grown, like a great tree of crystal and light. It pulses with a soft, rhythmic energy. It is beautiful, and it is silent. It is a biomachine, the echo explains. It was the heart of our people, the repository of our collective memory, our soul. The Dominion could not destroy it. So they put it to sleep. If we can awaken it, we can restore what was lost. We can broadcast the truth to the entire galaxy, restoring a whole civilization, broadcasting the Dominion's greatest crime. It is a promise of hope so large it is almost impossible to grasp. But it is the only hope you have. All right, Kale says with a heavy sigh. He rubs his tired eyes. One suicide run through a ship-eating nebula, to a ghost world to turn on a magic memory machine. What could possibly go wrong? He glances at you. Don't answer that. Your memory is probably full of things that could go wrong. He adjusts the ship's course. The stray comet veers off the main hyperspace lane. It heads toward the shimmering, chaotic clouds of the Serpent Nebula. The ride becomes rougher. The ship begins to shudder. Alarms chime softly on the console. Entering the nebula's edge, Kyle announces, "Strap in. This is where the fun begins." The view outside changes. The clean lines of hyperspace dissolve into a swirling chaos of color. Green, purple, and gold clouds of gas and dust churn around the ship. Tendrils of energy lash out like whips. The ship rocks violently. They are here, the echo warns. Before Kale can react, the ship is rocked by an explosion. The lights flicker. The aft shields collapse. Ambush, Kyle shouts. How did they find us? 3 black ships emerge from the nebula's clouds. They are smaller than the fighters from the port. They are sleek, shark-like vessels. Hunter-killers, the Dominion's elite trackers. They must have followed your hyperspace trail. They waited for you to enter the nebula, where you would be most vulnerable. Their weapons are designed to disable, not destroy, you say. You remember reading about these ships. They want us alive. I'm not feeling very charitable right now. Kale snarls. He banks the ship hard. He dodges a volley of blue energy nets. The nets are designed to ensnare a ship and shut down its systems. The hunters are good. They box you in. There is no escape. The nebula interferes with your sensors. It also blocks any attempt to jump to hyperspace. You are trapped in a stellar storm with predators on your tail. I'm out of tricks, Kyle admits. His voice is tight with strain. You are not. Your mind races through thousands of battle records, obscure tactics from forgotten wars. A memory clicks into place, a maneuver used by ancient void pirates. It was called the tidal fall. It was designed to use a nebula's own gravitational currents against an enemy. It is incredibly dangerous. One miscalculation could crush your ship. There, you say, pointing at a massive, swirling vortex of gas ahead. Fly into that, there's a gravitic current inside. We can ride it like a wave. Fly into the giant space whirlpool? Kale asks, his voice incredulous. Are you trying to kill us? He is right, the Echo projects. The risk is immense. The hunters are hurting us, you say. They expect us to run. They don't expect us to attack the nebula itself. Kale hesitates for a second. Then a familiar, reckless grin spreads across his face. You know, for a walking library, you're a lot of fun. He pushes the ship's nose toward the vortex. The hunter ships follow, confused by your change in tactics. They fire their nets, but the gravitic tides of the vortex tear the nets apart. You plunge into the swirling chaos. The ship screams. Metal groans under the immense pressure. Red lights flash all over the console. You are tossed and thrown. The force pushes you deep into your seat. Outside, there is only a blur of color and light. Then, just as you feel the ship is about to break apart, Kyle finds the current. The ride smooths out. You are moving at an incredible speed, carried by the nebula's own power. The hunter ships are not so lucky. They are not prepared for the tidal forces. One ship is caught in a cross current. It is ripped apart instantly. The other 2 struggle against the tide. They are losing ground. You shoot out of the other side of the vortex. You are free. The hunter ships are lost behind you in the storm. Kyle is breathing heavily, his hands shaking. Remind me, he pants, to never listen to you again. The ship is damaged. The shields are gone. The hull is compromised. But you are alive. And you are through the worst of the nebula. Ahead, the star map shows a single, solitary system. A quiet star with one planet. The homeworld of the silenced. The journey through the rest of the nebula is tense but uneventful. Kyle coaxes the wounded stray comet forward. He bypasses burnt-out systems. He patches hull breaches with emergency sealant. The Echo remains silent, as if gathering its strength. It knows you are close. Finally, you arrive. You drop out of hyperspace into a silent system. A pale white sun casts a gentle light. Before you hangs a single world. It is a planet of deep blues and swirling white clouds. It looks peaceful. It looks alive. But as you draw closer, you feel an unnerving stillness. There are no electronic signals, no radio chatter, no city lights on the night side. The planet is completely silent. My home, the Echo whispers. The feeling is a mix of love and profound grief. You take the ship into the atmosphere. You fly over vast, empty landscapes. You see cities. But they are not the crystal and light cities from the Echo's memory. These are cities of towering, organic structures. They look like giant, sleeping creatures carved from stone and vine. They are majestic and eerie. There are no people, no movement. The cities are perfectly preserved, but utterly still. It is a world of silent giants, an entire civilization, frozen in time, waiting. It's like a graveyard, Kale murmurs. He has seen many strange things in his travels, but this unnerves him. A whole planet of ghosts. They are not dead, the Echo insists. They are sleeping, waiting for the final command, waiting for the music to begin again. The Echo guides you toward the largest of the organic cities. It is a structure that dwarfs any mountain. At its heart, it says, is the chamber of waking, the biomachine that holds the key to their salvation. You land the stray comet on a wide, flat plaza. The air is clean and cool. The silence is absolute. You step out of the ship. The sheer scale of the silent city is overwhelming. You are an insect at the foot of gods. The Echo shimmers beside you, more solid now. It seems to draw strength from this place. It leads you toward a massive doorway, the entrance to the chamber of waking. You walk through halls of living architecture. The walls pulse with a slow, faint light, like a sleeping heart. You arrive in a cavernous chamber. In the center is the device from the Echo's vision, the Echo of Ages. It is a colossal, tree-like structure of interwoven crystal and light. It is dark. It is silent. It does not respond. It is a vast biological machine that does not answer your call. So, what now? Kale asks, his voice echoing in the immense space. Is there an on switch somewhere? You approach the machine. You run your hand over its smooth, cool surface. You can feel a faint vibration. It is alive, but dormant. The Echo floats closer to the device. It tries to interface with it. A flicker of light passes between them, but nothing happens. It is locked, the Echo communicates. The feeling is one of frustration. The Dominion created a psychic lock, a final command that keeps it sleeping. A lock? So we need a code? Kale says. He pulls out a datapad. I can slice most Imperial codes. What are we looking at? A 7-digit encryption? A quantum cipher? It is not a code, the Echo replies, not data. The Dominion knew we were masters of information. They used a key that we could never guess, something primitive, something alien to our way of thinking. A primitive key, something that cannot be hacked or calculated. You stare at the silent, sleeping machine. An entire race's survival depends on waking it up. But the lock is something beyond your comprehension. All your perfect memory, all the data you hold, is useless here. Frustration begins to build. You have come so far. You have faced down the Dominion. You have survived the Serpent Nebula. To fail now, at the very end, it is unthinkable. You rack your brain, searching every memory, every fragment of information. Nothing. There is no mention of this kind of lock anywhere. It is a perfect trap. You sit down on the cold floor of the chamber. You feel a wave of despair wash over you. Kyle paces nervously. The Echo floats silently, its light dimming with disappointment. The silence of the dead world presses in on you. It is the silence of failure. And in that profound silence, a memory surfaces. It is not a memory of a star chart or a battle tactic. It is a memory from your own cradle, a distant, forgotten piece of your own past. Your mother, her face soft in the dim light. She is humming a simple tune, a lullaby, a song from a world you can barely remember, a planet called Earth. The melody is simple. It is gentle. It is full of a feeling that has no name in any star science textbook. It is a feeling of safety, of love, of home. It is the most primitive and powerful thing you know. Without thinking, you begin to hum the tune. The sound is small in the vast chamber. Kale stops pacing. He looks at you, a strange expression on his face. The echo turns its shimmering form toward you. You move from humming to singing. The words are simple. They are about sleeping stars and silver moons. A child's song, a lullaby from a forgotten earth. You sing it into the heart of the silent chamber. You sing it to the sleeping machine, and the machine begins to listen. A single point of light appears in the center of the echo of ages. It glows softly at first. Then it grows brighter. The light spreads through the crystalline branches of the machine. The low hum you felt before grows into a resonant chord. The entire chamber begins to vibrate with a rising power. The lock was not a code. It was not data. The key was emotion. The key was a song of hope from a human cradle. It was something the Dominion, in all their cold logic, could never have predicted. Light erupts from the machine. It is not a blinding, violent light. It is a warm, gentle wave of energy. It washes over you. It passes through you. It flows out of the chamber, across the silent city, and over the entire planet. It is a wave of pure memory. You see it happen in your mind's eye. The sleeping giants on the plains begin to stir. The light returns to their eyes. The silent, organic cities begin to glow. A low, beautiful music fills the air. The music of a people waking from a long nightmare. The music of a soul being made whole again. The echo beside you shines with a brilliant, steady light. It is no longer a flickering ghost. It has form. It has substance. It turns to you, and for the first time, you hear its true voice. Not in your head, but in the air around you. You did it, the voice says. It is a chorus of a billion voices speaking as one. You remembered for us. The great machine, the echo of ages, is now fully awake. It pulses with the combined memory of the entire silenced race. And it begins to broadcast. It sends a signal not through radio waves, but through the same psychic channels the Dominion uses. It sends the truth. It broadcasts the memory of their destruction. It broadcasts the crime the Dominion committed. It sends this undeniable proof to every corner of the galaxy, to every conquered world, to every oppressed species. The signal cannot be jammed. It cannot be stopped. It is a wave of truth washing over a galaxy of lies. On 1,000 worlds, people stop what they are doing. They look up. They receive a memory that is not their own. They see the Dominion for what it truly is. A brutal empire built on a foundation of betrayal and erasure. The seeds of rebellion are planted in a single moment. An empire built on lies begins to crumble. Kyle stares at the awakened city around him. He looks at the radiant being that was once the echo. He looks at you. A lullaby, he says, shaking his head in disbelief. You saved the galaxy with a lullaby. You look at your hands. You are no longer just a living archive. You are not just a target or a burden. The memory that was once your curse has become a weapon. It has become a spark. You are the human who remembered, and your memory ignited a new future for the galaxy, a future where no one will ever be silenced again.